And welcome back to Trails in the Reverie. We've got one more of these. Same day. I'm just finished coughing out my lungs. Just a little bit. And it seems like we have one final one of these to do, and I accidentally backed out, so I have to go through this segment again. Sure seems like the last one. I'm trying to remember what the name was, but it sounded fine. No? The visual in the background is very interesting into itself, because that's basically the whole, like, thing in the back here. Where sort of like the implication is the idea that we still haven't seen anything from her, so outside of the little epilogue thing, in terms of her involvement with all this. So it's very weird that she's been so a part of it, basically, right? Yeah, very weird. But it does distinctly have that element of it. So adding one of these in does seem to imply that new information is being entered into the timeline, right? In the same way that, What's-Its-Face did. And I need to stop talking, because I'm going to start coughing again real soon. Oh my goodness. September, year 1207 and 7 calendar. So this is earlier than the other two. Interesting. interesting to bring Zin in like this. So, okay, a bracer. I do feel as though maybe it was more Ren that gave me that impression. This characteristic of the characters being, oh, they're so beautiful. Everyone's looking at them and their eyes are... and then you have this character that's like, oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. You should be a model or an actress. You could also be a super duper good bracer. And I know there's more to it than that, but it's an interesting way when you have all the... when you have the pros there telling you how things should be sort of interpreted and stuff like that, like, or all the discussions of beauty and that sort of stuff. Because they're trying to sum it up so quickly, it is interesting to see what they put emphasis on, basically, in the character designs, and how that can stand out. Or in the character backstories and descriptions and exposition and stuff. I don't want to, like, come across like this is a bad thing. It's just interesting because it's given some more emphasis, right? I wonder if this might be the female protagonist character that I've seen. I don't... Like I said before, I thought that first year looked similar-ish to what I had in my head, but I also could just be remembering it wrong. And I can't say anything about this design has turned me away from that impression either, so... Oh. Spiky blue hair. This is feeling like a Trails romance story for sure. Demand a new hero. Before jumping too much into this next step, how did this here? If you don't mind, I have something with pursue regarding this business show. My eyes widen from the unexpected change. He continued. I found out here that made the district go terrific, compelling evidence of crime taking place. You must proceed as you like in cooperation with the police. I couldn't believe it. Huh. I'm curious how what was said there turned into, hey, now I might be able to do what I wanted to do as a kid. I don't see the actual connection if it unless it has something to do with the police. A. I mean, suddenly the name of A comes to mind with S and N, and that element is... That's pretty specific way naming, way to name someone. I know the Emperor isn't around anymore, but that actually does beg the question. If he's not around anymore, that means everyone else under him also became free to go do whatever they want, right? Because he's dead. Oh, that does potentially make some chaos to be sorted out. Bloodied mounds. Oh, he's teleported! It's Ouroboros. Oh, other criminal organizations? Whatever. Whatever. His departure also. At least I was trying to not remember the exact opposite. So not Ouroboros. So it does imply the thing that would change. I guess she. So I'm guessing what she wanted to be was a hero in some form. I probably could have guessed that before, particularly because her other childhood friend pointed out and used those words in order to basically tempt her. And the fact that her it's something that a child might actually aspire to. While also being in a situation where hey, I can go save these children, I can be a hero, why the new development would be potentially getting her closer to the childhood stuff. So that does make some semblance of sense, right? Just enough for me to put together, especially with her failing here and that being her conclusion. Well, partly failing here. Sorry, music's a bop. That's great. Ah, interesting. The song has a very Crossbell vibes to it with like the saxophone. Maybe Crossbow Evolution specifically, I would probably say, actually. I want to say that when I went and like listened to the original versions of those songs, the stuff like the saxophone wasn't nearly as prevalent, or that more like jazzy style. Elaine Auclair. Beauty's Blade, oh boy. That's a name. Forward, sword in hand, the end. Well, that makes me very excited for Daybreak. Ooh. Oh, no, damn it. No, that didn't actually give me another one. It gave... Ooh. Suspension of causality, recording engine activity, confirm. Force connection to Astrolink severed. The whirlpool of causality engulfing Erebos and the fated land has at last been unraveled. Though the bell ringing in the end of days has yet to be silenced. You, children of Zemuria, have earned your moment of peace until that time comes to face the final hour. Until you, with hope and fear in your hearts, must walk new trails. Well, that's all real interesting. What are you going to do? Loading, loading. Okay, and here. Well, I think that's probably a good place to end it. I will say, it does make me excited about Daybreak. Oh, probably the biggest takeaway, especially from that last little monologue there. I got the impression that it was being told, that was like a little, it was being told from the perspective of the Grandmaster. Of her there, especially since they showed her. And the implication of that visual was the idea of these varying causality and different ways things could have played out, all sort of forming into one thing going forward. And we're sort of away from that point in all this stuff. And maybe that won't be as relevant in the future, basically. That might be what it's sort of saying. The other thing makes it sound like Calver's going to be the beginning of the end, right? The Calvert arc, right? If we have respite until the final days, that means probably one more notable story leading up to End of Days, right? Whatever that means. So, I could maybe speculate more, but I do feel like I'd just be pulling random stuff out of my butt at the moment if I did. If anything, because it's only a few months out, I sort of just want to go and wait for it to start. So, thank you all for coming along on this long, long journey and being very patient with me as I had delays and gaps in putting up stuff. Thank you all for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I certainly have. My throat, less so at the moment. But very much a fun sort of epilogue to the Cold Steel stuff that resolved themes and arcs and all that sort of fun stuff, with a good step forward into the thing that I am quite excited about now. With that little bit of a fresh start. God, my throat. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. Speculating would be very bad for me for that reason. So, thank you all. It's been a journey. Thank you all for those that have been through all my Let's Plays at this point. It's a lot. It has been quite a journey just in life going through these on the channel.
Okay.
And it does feel like a daybreak is coming, and that in itself, the thematic elements of that, very interesting. And I'll see you all in the dawning of the next day. Drive safely, everyone.